I got this drink in my cup, cup, cup. I got this drink in my cup, cup, cup. What in the world, boys? It's your boy Big Low Country. Here we are. The free agency just started. I think we just getting here. They say it's the tampering period or whatever, and here we are. We got a new quarterback, Bo. We got a new quarterback, Kirko, Chainz. Welcome to the Atlanta Falcons. For everybody out there that don't know me, my name. I'm sorry, let me put this cup down. It's what time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. So, I haven't got to what's in my cup is in my cup yet. But look at here. For everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that love to sit around and talk about sports. You could have been anywhere in the world today on this free agency Monday, tampering period, whatever you want to call it. It's going down like there's a well in the boat. The Atlanta Falcons have just gotten their new quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Crazy. So basically, Shaka, get out of here. Go to your mama. Go. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a dog. She's sitting there. She in here. She crunk too. She in here. She wild and making noise too. The Atlanta Falcons just got their new quarterback and Kirk Cousins. So, the whole talk about the whole NFL offseason, one of the main questions, I was just around a whole bunch of family this last weekend. Of course, I talk about the Atlanta Falcons constantly. And they said, well, the question is, what are y'all going to do at quarterback? Because people are saying that y'all are a quarterback away. Raheem Morris said we're a quarterback away. And as a matter of fact, the last show that we had was talking about us. Are we really a quarterback away? And obviously, the Atlanta Falcons think that that's the case, signing a 36-year-old Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal. That can I say young man? I guess I can because I'm around that age range. That man is doggone going to be here till he's 40 years old. Now, who knows? The last 2 years could be dummy years. We don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the Atlanta Falcons do have their new quarterback, that high processing quarterback that can make every throw, who was on pace for an MVP season last year. But the question is it a situation where is he too old? He's just coming off of an Achilles injury. Is he too old? Is it one of those cases where too little, too late? He's trying to bring that old thing. Bring that old thing back. Is he trying to bring that old thing back? That's the question. First of all, I want to show love to everybody that's showing love to me. Much love to everybody that's coming in here. I apologize if I ramble. Sterling Wood said, "You like that? You like that?" Ted said, "We coming." In the words of Coach Prime, we coming. Shouts out to Terry, man. Got Jerry G in here. The starting quarterback for the Pontchartrain Crawdads. Jerry G. He says, he know the pain is coming. He already know what time it is. Don't be scared now, Jerry. Don't be scared now. We know that y'all making all y'all payments off of Karma and everything else. Don't be scared now. The pain is coming. Jalen Hilton in here. He says, so it's win now mode, I guess. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Atlanta Falcons are definitely in win now mode. Josh in his bag in here says, wow, what's going on, Juicy fruit. Shouts out to Coach Ashley in here. Much love to you, fam. Hope that y'all doing good. Stacks in here. Says, Coach, the Super Bowl or bust now. No more excuses. Oh, yeah, it's game time. Lock and load. Anybody who listens to the old school Lil Wayne, lock and load. That is Flash. What in the world, Bo? What's going on, Austin Douglas? 4 years is crazy. 36 years old. By the time this contract is over, like I said, he's going to be 40 years old. He's going to hit the big 4-0. Now, the question is that I wanted to ask the coaching staff before we even get in here. Juice the old man. The question is, coaching staff, everybody that's watching, is this a good move for our Atlanta Falcons? If you feel like it is a good move, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it's one of them situations where you don't like it, pineapples, I don't like it, I take a step back from it. Now leave your heart out of it now, because I know that a lot of y'all getting naked for Justin Fields. Leave your heart out of it. If you feel like it's not a good move, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all think. Shouts out to everybody that's chilling out with us, man. Jerry G, starting quarterback for the Pontchartrain Bengals. Much love to you, Bo. I see you in here. Jalen Hill said it's T. Higgins next. Boy, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, big dog. Don't do me like that, big bro. In the words of the Water Boys downtown Atlanta. Don't do me like that, big bro. Wait a minute. Falcons fam, 1020 says 180, 100 million confirmed. Wait a minute. Are we saying, if somebody, if y'all could, because I'm doing the show and I want to make sure that I focus fully on y'all. If y'all have any sort of numbers with the contract situation, oh, wait a minute. I just got on Bleacher Report. Much love to you, Falcons fan. Four-year contract includes 100 million guaranteed. It's a $180 million deal. We going backwards, y'all. We going backwards. $4 million, $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. Quarterback coming off of an Achilles. Y'all remember Kobe when he came back from that Achilles injury? He wasn't ever the same Kobe. Y'all remember Kevin Durant? He's not the same Kevin Durant. $180 million deal. You know what? Whoa, boy. Okay, all right. So let me see what everybody thinks. Good grief, goodness gracious. Dr. Slick's in here. He said he likes it. Said he likes it. Marina, they're undecided. They're undecided. Hey, Cox says too. Don't like it. Cat Squad, Chris. They said that they like it. Shouts out to Nate coming in, checking in with us from Twix, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. He said he's fine with it. Atlanta Dog said he likes it. Trans Uno says 2 pineapples. He don't like it. Juicy said let's ride. Kirko Baines, let's ride. Kirko Chainz, let's ride. Traveler Mind says 1. Jalen says 2. Age, injury, contract makes it bad. Man, I seen that contract. I ain't gonna lie to you, Bo. I'm thinking like Sam over here, Bo. I'm sweating. It's woo. Good grief. Caleb Davis says they don't like it. They don't like it. They said they gotta. Woo, boy. Man, that's tough. Coach T says just for Coach Roney, he should wear 3. Oh man. Kayla says, man, that set us way back. We doing things like New Orleans Saints. Y'all heard that New Orleans Saints? They starting to put all their players. Y'all know them payment plans that they be having at the pawn shop. That's what New Orleans Saints is doing. They're legitimately doing that right now. Shouts out to my homeboy Padre. He says, hey, coach and content creator Roney, the mighty 3G Nation, we took a step forward, but was it far enough? Well, I mean, it's one of those cases where in Atlanta Dog, he says 50 to sign 90 for 2 years. I gotta know moving forward what it's looking like as far as are those last 2 years kind of like dummy years, or if it's a situation where he can continue to play closer to 40, we'll just keep him instead of moving in a different direction. But it looks like the whole quarterback situation is resolved for now. I still feel like you need to draft that backup quarterback to come in and come just in case Kirk Cousins does sustain another injury. Just like that guy who was talking about LeBron James. He's 36. He's 36. Man, boy, this is $180 million contract. This is, I keep looking back at on Bleacher Report, Bo. $180 million. Goodness gracious. Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know that a lot of people, and I one of the things that I wanted to do, I wanted to ask, how everybody liked it. Shouts out to Sonya. Rise up to remember. Much love to you, Sonya. Says, hey fam, rise up. Let's do it. It is what it is. Let's win. You know it. We locked and loaded. We still gonna be traveling to Brazil if they go to Brazil this year. Las Vegas, New Orleans, Denver, all of these other places. We still gonna be making these travels. But I know that a lot of people wouldn't like this signing because it's one of those cases where everybody had in their hearts, and now I'm thinking that everybody may say that it feels hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it, everybody wanted Justin Fields. I know a lot of people were getting naked for him. You know, they wanted to, you know, have the hometown kid come back home. You know, black GM, black head coach, black quarterback. I already had a nickname for. I was gonna call him Soul Patrol. I was gonna call him Soul Patrol. But you know, I mean, if anybody had a chance to see the thumbnail for this live, you know, Kirko Chainz, he's definitely in touch with his, um, you know, he's in touch with his roots. We can say, and it's one of those situations where, you know, moving forward, we can legitimately say that, um, you know, I think it could be, a really good combination of minds. You know, you got your Zach Robinsons, who said he wanted a high processing quarterback that can make every throw, the most competitive guy in the room. I mean, we seen, you know, whenever he said you like that, you know, we seen a viral clip. But I mean, moving forward, you know, we definitely gotta consider that. Also, if you can, you know, whether you like or you dislike the move, if you could do a country boy a favor, make sure that you hit that like button. If you want to express if you like it, hit the like button. If you want to express if you dislike it, hit that like button. Or if it's one of those cases where, you know, you undecided, hit that like button. That sounded kind of good. Boy, those vocal lessons really been helping. You undecided. But you know, you bring in a Kirk Cousins, who's, like I said, I know I said this a little bit earlier, and you know, maybe it's one of those cases where appreciate that, Sam. Sam says Kirk Cousins deal is 4 years, 180 million, $45 million a year. It's the average 2024 and 2025. Injury guarantee that converts. Okay, and $50 million. That's like the signing bonus. Okay, if you could let me know, I would definitely appreciate it. Jerry G said he's 39, same age. Well, you know, we know Jerry. You know, you the starting quarterback for the Ponte Million. But one of the things, like I was saying, is that you got to consider it could legitimately be a match made in heaven, right? Because now, if Raheem Morris legitimately thinks that he has the quarterback to help make them contenders, you know, Super Bowl or bust, like I've seen so many people put in the comments, um, I'm thinking that moving forward, you're gonna have to change things. You're gonna have to change the way that you were looking at things, because we tried to do the whole, hey, we're going to build the team first. And I mean, the last couple of years, we legitimately did that. Mind you, we had a few 1 year deals like the Bud Duprees of the world, like the Calais Campbells of the world. You know, I think they're going to end up being free agents now. Um, but we definitely got to consider, you know, we still got a lot of holes that we need to fill. We need another wide receiver. You know, we need an edge rusher. I heard that they're talking about addressing edge rusher in the draft. Now, how many times have we seen edge rushers like Daniil Hunter that comes out in free agency, and we just pass on them, and then they go on to do great things somewhere else. Then you see that team in the playoffs making deep playoff runs. Meanwhile, we're here with 22 sacks. After last year having, you know, a fairly effective pass rush, I think we got over the 40 mark. We're not trying to go back. We're trying to legitimately see what we could do to improve off of what we had last year. Losing Ryan Nielsen, I feel like we may have taken a step back in that regard, but I thought that we were going to try to just improve the talent. And, you know, and we don't know what Jimmy Lake's going to do. Now, I do know that our defensive line coach, he is a beast. I do know that. I also know that he coached Khalil Mack in San Diego. And there may be something there. But with that being said, this kind of changes everything, guys, because we were trying to build the team first and then bring in our guy. I was under the impression that we were going to be getting a young Thundercat quarterback, but Lowski said now we instead of Soul Patrol, it's Old Patrol. Oh, Atlanta Dollar says $45 million a year for a top 10 quarterback is pretty good. And look, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Ghost Pepper says, what in the world, Bo? People thought that Adam Schefter was just clowning around. He said they learned that. Look, one thing about it, if Adam Schefter, if he tells you something, you better listen. Somebody they hit me up on Twitter earlier today, and they was like, "Hey, Tyler." Tyler hit me up on Twitter earlier today. Shouts out to you, Tyler, if you're watching. Much love to you, Bo. He's a Panthers fan, and he was like, "Hey, Lo, it sounds like this Kirk Cousins thing is gaining some steam." I was like, "Look, I can't believe it until I see it. I gotta actually see it before it's one of those cases where we could actually put it in place." So now it's one of those cases where, here we are. Here we are. So shouts out to everybody that's watching us, man. We got our quarterback for 2024 and hopefully for years to come. And we're definitely gonna touch on that. Shouts out to my sister, April Showers, fan of the year for 2023. Shouts out to April Showers. She says, welcome to the city. Kirk Cousins, work that pocket. Now let's see if these receivers ready. I'm content with our running backs behind the pocket of quarterbacks, such as a mobile one. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. April, she actually made a post on Facebook earlier this morning. And shouts out to April, because April, she's an Atlanta representative. She said that, hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like Kirk Cousins fits our offense better than Justin Fields. She said, I would love to have Justin Fields here. But she said, I feel like he fits the offense better. And, we haven't seen the offense yet, but after looking at what the Rams have done for the last 2 or 3 years and looking at what Justin Fields has done, I tend to agree with her. Like I said, I was thinking that we may go with a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels who can run and pass, or even a Michael Penix. And I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. It's one of those cases where Michael Penix may still be on the table. If we keep it a buck, he may still be on the table. He's a high processing guy that can make every throw. A lot of people said that he's the best prospect in this draft. The thing is that he checked out at the NFL Combine because people were worried about his injury history. They did all the physicals. They poked and prodded him. Michael Penix checked out. So you could legitimately have a completely new quarterback room when all this is over with. Because, at the end of the day, we got to remember he's 36. He's 36. We got to remember that. Richard Drake, man, we're going to look. There's going to be a whole bunch of you like that coming up in the future, man. Dre Murphy says the Neil Hunter is next. Yeah, I always get confused. I don't know if I should call that young man Daniel or Danielle Hunter, but Mr. Hunter is next. I would definitely hope that's the case, man. Ray's Real says, want some more moves. What some more moves we're gonna make? Man, I can't tell you, Bo. I do know that Terry, he looking like he's in win now mode. Thing is, Terry, is that if this don't work, it's gonna be hard for you to come back from this, Terry. If this don't work, it's gonna be tough. But I really feel like Terry's gonna be putting something in place to moving forward to kind of rebound from that. So look, I do need y'all to make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're watching on Twitter, make sure that you hit that like button. Also, feel free to follow Old Country Boy. Also, we're on YouTube. Make sure that you check us out on YouTube at Big Low Country. The same thing as the Twitter handle. Make sure that you check us out. We would definitely and greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button so every time we get together, you can see the chat that's consistently coming up because the coaching staff, they're always in here talking trash, and we have such a great time. Feel free to come on there and subscribe so you don't miss the conversation there. And we could definitely have a great time. I remember back, I think it was the Black Album, Jay-Z, whenever he was quote unquote retiring, he had the song Encore, right? I don't know if y'all remember that. If y'all remember the song Encore that Jay-Z had, put a 3 in the chat. Shayla said, that's your Shayla little fool. But if y'all remember the song that Jay-Z had on that Black album, Encore, put a 3 in the chat. Shouts out to the great 3 Nation that Coach Roney magically made. Shouts out to you, Will Amy. Yes, we do need an edge rusher. We don't want to go back to what we used to do in the past, right? We do need an edge rusher, seriously. But if y'all remember the encore, can I get an encore? Do you want more? If y'all remember that, put a 3 in the chat for me. I would definitely and greatly appreciate it. The reason why I bring that song up is because y'all know I have a crazy mind. Is because whenever he made a remix to it, he made a remix with Linkin Park. I initially felt like the Atlanta Falcons were going to be so patrolled that they did go with a Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, or I'm sorry for everyone whose heart is broken in this situation. That's right. uh, it's one of those cases where moving forward, a lot of people wanted Justin Fields, but I just remember whenever he did the one with Linkin Park, that's a lot of people's favorite version. And I got a feeling that Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins are going to be Jay-Z and Linkin Park in this situation. Because for one, I know that everybody was saying that whenever Raheem Morris said we needed a guy, the best fit for the city, Kirk Cousins, he really be representing, he really be representing the brothers. He had the chains, he be doing his little dances and everything. I would love to see, Kirk Cousins and Gucci Mane in Magic City on a Thursday night. But with that being said, Kirk Cousins ain't going to Magic City. He's a devout Christian. Y'all don't be trying to invite that man. That was a joke. But anyway, I got a feeling that this is going to be a encore Jay-Z Linkin Park kind of combination. I become so numb I can't see. I really feel like it's going to be one of those things. You're like, wait a minute, this is different. This is kind of something that we used to have back in the day with Matt Ryan. This is different. But I like it. I really like it. I don't know what's going on, but I really like it. I feel like it's going to be one of those cases. Moving forward, if we can put together a good combination of, like I said, another wide receiver, the wide receiver from Washington, McMillan, because I hear that from the reports that I'm seeing and some connections that I have, some people say that we're still not opposed to moving up in the draft and going after a guy like a Marvin Harrison. I ain't mad at it, Bo. If you went after a Marvin Harrison, we seen what Kirk Cousins has done with a Addison and with a Justin Jefferson. Imagine what he's able to do with a guy like Bijan Robinson. I'm pretty sure they're going to be getting Bijan Robinson the ball in space a little bit more. Having a guy like a Drake London who just has a catch radius out of this world. Having a guy like a Kyle Pitts. I know some people said that Kyle Pitts might have to give up number 8. I wonder if Kirk Cousins is that type of guy. I know he's wore an 8 most of his career, but he's coming into Kyle Pitts' city. I don't know if that'd be the case, but what I will say is that the offense that we've been looking for, the more of the balanced offense that we've been looking for, I feel like you're going to get it now. The question is, and the thing that I'm worried about, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the chat, is are we going backwards? Are the Atlanta Falcons trying to find a way back? Way back? Like, are we going backwards in this situation, trying to reclaim the old glory of a Matt Ryan who could run the offense so efficiently? Like, is that legitimately the case? I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's a situation where, we're trying to bring back that old Julio Jones Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, type of offense, or the Julio Jones, Taylor Gabriel, Allen Robinson type of offense. I don't know if that's the case, guys. But one thing that I will tell you is that um, if we're going to be Super Bowl contenders, if we're going to take that next step moving forward, we're going to have to make sure that we shore up the defense. Two things: you got to have a capable quarterback, and you got to be able to affect the other team's quarterback. You also got to control that line of scrimmage. You can't just let teams run all over you. Javi says, Pitts posted a picture of him wearing 84 in college after we signed Kirk Cousins, heading towards his new. Oh, okay. All right, Kyle. Okay, then. Tony Wright comes here. He says, yeah, finally a good personnel decision. Tony Wright says Kirk Cousins we will be putting up Matt Ryan type numbers. And once again, I go back to it, Coach. The question is, will he stay healthy? That's the main question. Will he stay healthy in this situation? Because we got to make sure that, Kirk Cousins, at the end of the day, he's not going to be successful if he's just sitting on the sidelines, wearing a hoodie and some sweatpants. Like I'm not trying to pay him $45 million a year for that, just to be a NFL Nike apparel model. I can't do it. I need more. TW says he'll be 36 in August. Okay, close enough. Close enough. Oh man, Ricky Bennett says Big Low. I'm only concerned about the injury. It's not that he wasn't able to perform. Says, but that injury is brutal. And I definitely. Look. I'm not knocking you in that regard. Nino says they taking Turner at 8. I don't know. They have more cap to get an edge rusher in free agency. Yeah. And see, and that's the thing, guys, is that, once again, we have to make sure that we do what's best. So last night I had an inkling that this was going to happen whenever I heard that Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers. And I don't know if y'all remember me saying this. I thought Russell Wilson might be going to the Steelers because, your boy Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson, they both have family ties in Virginia. Well, I think they're both from Virginia. I know that Mike Tomlin's from Virginia. And I know Russell Wilson's grandparents. Well, associated with Russell Wilson's grandparents. I know that they're from Virginia. And I know that Arthur Smith's offense is more predicated towards veteran quarterbacks opposed to, guys that he has to come in and actually, try to develop. So, with that being said, I said, yeah, I really had a feeling Russell Wilson was going to go there. And then just hearing everything that I heard, and that's why I made that show on Saturday saying that, Raheem Morris says, okay, well, we're just a quarterback away from being contenders. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I could definitely see them going Kirk Cousins. So with that being said, guys, it's like now, this is where we're at. Now it's just a lock and load kind of situation. Where do you go from here? And I honestly believe that moving forward, this is where it's time for Terry to work his magic. Because if you fall into the same trap that Thomas Dimitroff fell in, the guy who, and this is how he lost his job, basically, signing these big name guys, who were a little bit long in the tooth. That's on you, Terry, at the end of the day. So, look, it's like, I told, whenever I seen that, I ain't gonna lie to you, in my mind, I was saying, back up, Terry. In my mind, I was legitimately saying it. Like, back up, Terry. Hold on, Terry. Back up, Terry. Because I knew that at the end of the day, we can't fall into the same trap that we fell into before. TW, he's asking who's going to be the backup. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, all I know is that you got some guys that could possibly fall to the second round or even the third round. Uh, Michael Penix, I don't know if he's going to fall to the second round or not. But Spencer Rattler, I feel like he's a second round guy. Some people says he has Patrick Mahomes like arm talent. So if it's a situation where you can let him sit behind a Kirk Cousins, and help him develop as Kirk Cousins, comes to the end of his career, it'd be a situation where, you could legitimately have your quarterback situation resolved for the next 16, 17, 18 years. But, I mean, once again, it's iffy. It's touch and go. Or you could go, Desmond Ridder. Remember, it's like, Kirk Cousins was a third round pick who sat behind RG3, and whenever he got his chance, he was running around yelling in people's face, asking them if they like that. Now, moving forward, here we are. It's like, okay, Desmond Ridder, he's sitting on the bench. Like, he's shown some promise last year. I mean, did he make a few mistakes? Yes, he did. He made a lot of mistakes. But was he in the best situation? He wasn't. Like, let's keep it a buck, y'all. Like, there were times Art Smith had him booting to the free rush side, and it was running these 2-man concepts that, once it's gone, you just kind of have to figure something out while you're rolling to your non-throwing shoulder side. It's like Art Smith didn't do him any favors. So, I mean, I wanted to ask y'all, how would y'all feel if Desmond Ridder was your backup quarterback? If y'all are cool with Desmond Ridder being the backup quarterback, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all feel like we need to go somewhere else, put a 2 in the chat. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Hold on, let me close this door because Coach Ronnie's in here watching something. I ain't trying to get copyrighted. Coach Ronnie, she be in there watching the shows. If you're cool with Desmond Ridder being the backup quarterback, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it's one of those situations where, you don't like it, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all thinking. I want to know. Tony Wright says Penix will go to Seattle at 16 in the first round. I could definitely see that. He has ties there. He definitely has ties there, Coach. Let's see here. See, Mr. CDX, he says, what about AJ now? Oh, that's the thing. It's like situations like this, everything is being affected. So now we don't know what's going to go on with AJ. Will AJ take a team-friendly deal where he can stay here for a little bit longer? We legitimately don't know. But one thing that we do know is that the quarterback situation is resolved. We do know that. So let's see here. TBI, Sterling Woods, Bad Means, Ruined Dreams, Traveling Mind. They said they're all cool with Desmond Ridder being the backup quarterback. James Shank, LeMac said, yeah, run it with Dez. Tony, my homeboy Jay Murphy, he's just running back with Dez. Coach T says 9. I'm assuming that's Dez. Jamel Hill says 2. Pineapples, you don't like. Well, you don't like it. I can't tell by the profile picture. Well, Jamel don't like it. Rounds ones, Michael LaRusso, they said run it back with Dez. Stack DFS says 2. Says he's done with Dez. It's crazy because it's one of those situations where I would have seriously thought y'all would have been kind of over Desmond Ridder. But see, this is why it's good to ask questions. Mr. CDX says 1. Good quarterback to learn from. Shouts out to Padre. Padre says 1. Says run it back with Dez. Sonya Norwood says 3. She's undecided. Look at all of the spots flying, but she's still indecisive. We shouldn't be doing it, but here we go again. Johnson running back with Dez. Now, look, I want to let y'all know something. Coach Padre and Coach Ashley, they're married, right? Two separate opinions. Coach Padre says running back with Dez. Coach Ashley says 2. She put 22 twos in the chat. She don't like it. Coach T said 3 times 3. I'm assuming that means Dez. Timothy Allison, Kane Bailey, they all said, "Hey man, like I'm legitimately trying to run this thing back with Dez." Dexter Black says 1. They done gave up. They done gave Cuzzo. I like that. Okay, Cuzzo. All right, because that's what I call all my cousins. What it is, Cuzzo? They said they done gave Cuzzo them $100 million. We don't have no choice. I ain't even mad at it, Bo. I ain't even mad at it. Sonya Norwood says 2. Says she ain't trying to go back with this. Danny Johnson says 1. I like Ritter, but he does need some development. I'll take him over Rattler. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the thing. Dez, he legitimately came in and, he played bad, but he did show some flashes. That's one thing that Coach Runner would say over and over again. He was like, there's something there. There's something there, but like I said, Arthur Smith just didn't put him in the right situation many times. Mike Jinks in here, he says, what in the world, Bo? Saquon to the Eagles. Eagles. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Saquon is going to the Eagles. So congratulations on that. Y'all went from one beast running back to another. Because DeAndre Swift, he wasn't no. I used to feel sorry for them people. I used to feel sorry for people trying to tackle DeAndre Swift. Whenever we went on our visit to Georgia, they had they have a weight room award, to the dog who accomplished the most in the weight room that year. I think DeAndre Swift was on there 2 times. So just imagine trying to tackle that man. I ain't trying to do it. Business decisions will be made. Coach Ashton says she's yelling at Padre right now, so y'all keep Padre in your prayers. Y'all. Coach Ashley giving them the business. TW says, all right, Bo. Dez wasn't ready for Arthur Smith's ish. Pittsburgh about to find. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Coach. I don't know if Pittsburgh will find out because Arthur Smith is a whole lot better coordinator than he is actual head coach. Like he was just trying to be a totalitarian as the Atlanta Falcons head coach, but it didn't work out. But just as a coordinator, he's not that bad. Look, Najee Harris, he could help revitalize Najee Harris the same way he helped revitalize Derrick Henry. That could legitimately happen. Because some people look at Najee Harris as a disappointment. They thought he was going to do something a whole lot better than he's done so far. And, I remember whenever the draft came around, what was that, 2 years ago? I was hoping we would get him, but I'm happy with Bijan. So, you never know, Bo. Also, Mike Jean, I don't know if I gave it to you, but that's that dun da da. That's a Superman chat. I don't know if I gave it to you or not, but I definitely appreciate that, Bo. Man, C Dubs are here. He says, I need some still small. What in the world? Dang, C Dub. It ain't like that, is it, Bo? You don't need the stilts. Boy, let me tell y'all something, boy. One thing, whenever I heard that we signed Kirk Cousins, we cause y'all know we had my grandmother's funeral on Saturday, and Shady was there, my little cousin who's getting recruited. Shouts out to you, Shady. I see you, Bo. So little cousin, he being recruited. We always have this big argument about who's the best athlete in the family, right? Because I tell him, I was like, look, just because you getting all this notoriety and stuff now, Like, remember who the OG was. Don't forget. Like, don't get it twisted. So when I heard we signed Kirk Cousins, I was thinking back to Saturday night. You know, we got a basketball court at the house. And I was like, look, man, I'll take you out there right now and dust you off. I knew. First of all, I knew. Y'all were there with me. I had been, partaking in some moonshine, and the crazy thing is I was partaking in different types of flavors. Everybody would see me and say, hey, country, try this one. So I would go over here and try this one. Next thing you know, it's like, so everything was loose. I was talking trash and everything. And you know how, like, sometimes, the mind is willing, but the body is weak. That's where I was at on Saturday. So I was out there, first play. I was standing in my open stance because I figured he was going to go right. And, he went right. And, I had my foot there to stop him. And I was going to, try to cut him off. But once again, the mind was willing, but the body was weak. Yeah, I ate the ground. Yeah, I did, but it's okay. Coach Runner was recording. She wasn't cheering me on. She was recording it, laughing the whole time. So if y'all want to see that video, feel free to let me know. But anyway, I know it's a long story, but basically the point that I'm making is that the fact of the matter is that I don't want that to be Kirk Cousins. Is it ironic that the same day Matt Ryan is telling us that he's retiring, we signed Kirk Cousins, who's a 36-year-old, $45 million quarterback? The same thing Matt Ryan was whenever he left? Is that ironic? Please tell. Is it a situation? I saw the sign. Is that one of those situations? Because that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that the mind is willing, but the body is weak. If you ever had a chance, if y'all ever watched the QB1 show, I'm sorry, the Quarterback 1 show that a lot of people refer to it as, with Marcus Mariota, Kirk Cousins, and Patrick Mahomes, whenever they followed all three of these quarterbacks through the NFL season, it made me fall in love with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has a spot in his trophy case in his house where he's saving for a Vince Lombardi trophy. The man continuously, he's throughout the day, he goes in his car, he hooks up these little things to his head that tracks his neuron activity, and he works on his focus and things like that. He does everything in his power. He gets massages throughout the week leading up to game day. He legitimately does everything in his power to be the best quarterback that he can be. Meanwhile, that same season, Marcus Mariota, he was legitimately just eating McDonald's and looking at flashcards with his wife. He was like you could tell the work that each player put into it and the results that each player got from it. You could legitimately tell. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Marcus Mariota didn't only quit on the Atlanta Falcons. It seems like he quit the show because they just stopped following him. He wasn't doing anything. But the fact of the matter is, Quarterback 1 legitimately made me fall in love with Kirk Cousins. But can we say that it's one of those cases where, look, Bo, time waits for no man. I don't care how old you are. If Tom Brady could legitimately be playing in the NFL today, he would be. But the time came. The time came. And we're in a situation right now with Kirk Cousins where we just don't know how long it's going to last. We just don't know. I mean, look, the same song that was played at your uncle and your auntie's wedding, make it last forever. Like, we wish we could make it last forever, but we can't. So, with that being said, I don't know if this is a situation where Kirk Cousins, I don't know if he's going to play out this contract. I don't. I know it's a Super Bowl or bust situation, and if it's one of those cases where he can help us win a Super Bowl in these next 2-3 years, it's worth it. It's worth it. Because I know that Kirk Cousins is going to do everything in his power to win that championship. Kirk Cousins started off with the Washington Redskins / Commandos, went over to Minnesota, had a heck of a career. If you look at Kirk Cousins' numbers throughout full seasons, his numbers are eerily similar to Matthew Stafford's. Eerily similar. Mind you, now that you have a Kirk Cousins who's coming off an Achilles injury, you're going to need somebody to protect him. Do y'all trust Caleb McGarry to protect Kirk Cousins on that right side? Just like April Shower said a little bit earlier, you got to work that pocket now, Bo. You got to work that pocket. JJ Ayers says, yeah, he'll most likely play for 2, maybe 3 years at the most. At the most, he'll play for 2, maybe 3 years. If you're excited that the Atlanta Falcons got their new quarterback, make sure that you hit that like button. If you need a way to express it. Oh man, T-Dub says, Bo, you was one move from being in the boat. Hey, Bo, I'm telling you, it was hard times. Purple Haze says, y'all coming to us. Y'all coming to U.S. Bank Stadium this year? Oh yeah, we talking about coming. I know the Rise Up tour. You know, we pretty much go everywhere. But yeah, we talking about coming about. Oh yeah, we heard about it, man. Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins coming to Atlanta. I mean, I know that all of the talk, they was like, oh yeah, you know, his wife is from Atlanta and everything like that. He's looking for a house in Atlanta. Well, I mean, I was like, well, shoot, who doesn't live in Atlanta? All the pro athletes and players live in Atlanta. So whenever they were telling us that, I was like, okay, well, I mean, look, it is what it is. I ain't finna just stop and be like, oh, okay, he's coming to Atlanta. But now it's official. Now they're gonna put it on paper. Oh man, probably Joe Alt season loaded. Joe Alt season loaded. If you remember, if y'all had a chance to watch the show from Saturday, the last show that we did, when we was behind the woodshed, and if you didn't get a chance to watch it, feel free to go back and watch it. You know, when we were talking about whether or not, you know, whether or not it was one of those situations where the Atlanta Falcons are a quarterback away. The Atlanta Falcons definitely called me bluff because they said, oh, we are a quarterback away. They called me bluff. But, you know, whenever we were doing that show, I was saying, well, think about it. The offensive line took a step forward with Arthur Smith. That's one thing that we have to acknowledge. Caleb McGarry, he was considered a bust. And they took a step forward with Arthur Smith. Who's to say that the offensive line doesn't take a step back? You need to shore up that offensive line, especially if you're getting a 36-year-old quarterback. David Bakhtiari, where you at? I need you. I need you. Dirty Bird 08 says we went from a 36-year-old to a bust to a third-round pick to a 36-year-old. This franchise is incompetent. Come on, man. I mean, this 36-year-old, he might be different. Brian Moses says, come on, Lo. Just because little Cuzzo crossed you up, don't project your lack of athleticism on Kirk. The crazy thing is, Brian, he didn't even cross me up. He just went by me. It wasn't even no cross. He just went on, just proceeded to go forward. Oh man. Let's see. Coach Dre Murphy says, no sir, Coach Lowe, aka beloved. I trust Storm Norton more than I trust Caleb McGarry. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If we trust the journeyman tackle, more than we trust Caleb McGarry. Look, I could almost guarantee you Kirk Cousins is somewhere doing everything in his power right now to make sure that his 2024 season is the best that it can be. There's a lot of Matt Ryan that I see in Kirk Cousins. As far as, just wanting his team to win, wanting to be the best player that he could be, just being responsible, being the quarterback of a team. But we're gonna have to make sure we protect him. And like I said, like all of the, and this is one thing about, content creation and just being in the Falcons community, being on Twitter, whenever everybody's basically saying, hey, this is what we need to do, one move could change everything, right? Because the whole time we've been talking about how we need to get to the quarterback. Then after we sign that 36-year-old quarterback that's coming off that Achilles injury, then you say, you know what? We need to protect our quarterback. So in the words of Coach Padre, Joe Alt might be something that you seriously need to consider. I'm just saying. I mean, look, as far as the wide receiver room, we need some weapons. And it's looking like you might have to go to cheap. You have to go, value shopping and see if you can find somebody on sale. Somebody give Chase Claypool a call. Did he throw his teammates under the bus? Yes. But is he a viable wide receiver too? Yes. Down South Georgia boy. So what in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good today, man. Richard Nelson's in here. What in the world, Bo? I like that. Or is it you like that? Anyway, we got our quarterback. Rounds, he says, he didn't give us a hometown discount though, because he ain't from here. His wife is. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't believe in hometown discounts. If I'm a guy that's, I'm one of the top 10 people at my profession, just because I'm from Atlanta or just because I'm from the low country, like, okay, yeah, I'm coming there to work, but yeah, you're gonna have to pay me something. Like I ain't like you ain't just gonna you ain't gonna cheap out on me now. Like what in the world? Just because I'm from here? Like, are y'all gonna pay for my house? Corey Freeman, what's going on, man? yeah, Brian. It was a legit blow by. it was a legit blow by. Jay Murphy says age ain't nothing but a number. Look at what Tom freaking Brady did at his age, beloved. Hello. All right, Aaliyah. I hear what you're saying. Age ain't nothing but a number. I hear what you're saying. But Tom Brady, you got to think. Tom Brady, he took care of his body completely differently than a lot of other people did. Now, Kirk Cousins is looking like he had shades of that. Matt Ryan had a special diet. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Matt Ryan was using the Tom Brady diet. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the chat. But look, at the end of the day, it just affects different people. It affects people differently. That's why they have all those low T commercials, on ESPN. They the low testosterone commercials on ESPN and Fox Sports, because whenever the jokers get, in the high 30s, 40s, and 50s, they're like, hey, do you struggle from low T? It's like, you're like, wait, like, why are y'all marketing this to us? You hear people all the time comment talking about how they don't like it when they listen to the radio. They listen to the radio like, man, I just wish they stopped playing these low T commercials. But the fact of the matter is, Dre, is that whenever they get into the high 30s, 40s, 50s, they can't do the same thing they used to do in their 20s. That's why I watch the Nugenix commercials. I can't stand watching the Nugenix commercials with Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie, because it's creepy. Think about it. They talk about, hey man, I really wish I was just as much of a man as you are, even though you're older than me. It's like this is weird. And then I don't know if y'all ever seen the Nugenix commercial whenever they had the golf course. Frank Thomas is standing there like, yeah, we're in good shape. And then he was like, yeah, you need to take this Nugenix. And believe me, she'll like it too. And she said, they're like, it's like, no, like, wait a minute, this is crossing the line. Like, this is what we're doing. I'm sorry. But it's a genuine, like, and trust me, she'll like it too. And she's like, Oh, like, and this is weird. Don't be talking about what my wife is gonna like because you're taking something that look, pineapples. I don't like it, but age is more than a number, Dre. It is definitely more than a number. Long story short, Corey Freeman, what up, Bo? Desmond going to learn the game now, like he should have done. It's time for Cuz now. You like that? You like that? I'll take Tyler Boyd in a heartbeat, Dre. I'll take him in a heartbeat. Oh man, Slim guys, is how you feel about Kirk, Coach? Um, oh man, he says Deontay Johnson from. I would love that. But how I feel about Kirk, I mean, look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man. I feel like he's dedicated to winning. I feel like he checks all of those boxes that Zach Robinson was talking about. Whenever he was talking about you want a guy who is legitimately a high processor, who can make every throw, and is the most competitive guy in the room. He checks all of those boxes. So the only thing that I'm worried about is I just hope that it's a situation where he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, we in there like swimwear, bro. But if it's one of those cases where we pay him that $45 million a year, and it doesn't work, we have to look at Terry, man. Like I say, hey Terry, like what? Back it up, Terry. Like it's legit going to be one of those situations. Yeah, I would have wanted Gabe Davis too, Dre. Bad Means Ruin Dreams that CBS just posted that the training facility is only 1.7 miles uh, from a Kohl's. Kirk did his research. It is 1.7 miles from a Kohl's. Oh man, I would love T. Higgins. I would love T. Higgins, but I don't know if that's one of those cases where they want to, you know, I guess it's one of those cases where you don't want to give up too much, for a wide receiver. But T. Higgins is like he's shown that he has the talent of a first round. I mean, of a first number one wide receiver. Dre says, "I see that commercial. I know exactly what you talk about." Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I ain't sitting here trying to doggone. I ain't sitting here trying to doggone, you know, have some man tell me I need to take this medicine because, because she'll like it too. Like, no. Oh man! Shout out to my homeboy Twisted Torch, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out Twisted Torch TV on YouTube. That's one of my brothers, man. He says, "What's good, Big Low?" So I'm glad you're in good spirits. Hey man, I definitely appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the prayers and well wishes that you sent me too over this last week or so, bro. You don't know how much it meant for us. He says pass rush or wide out in the draft. I mean, look, if we in win now mode, I said we go ahead and get that wide out in free agency. Get the guy who fits your offense the best, and then get your pass rusher in the draft. I know a lot of people. Brian Little, he came here. He says I want us to get Dallas Turner. Shouts out to you, Ultimate Streams TV. He says y'all finally got y'all quarterback. Congrats, man. We definitely appreciate it, Bo, because boy, I'm telling you something. Uh, it's one of those cases where I was getting tired of talking about who we might get. Oh man, but Brian Little said he want us to get Dallas Turner. I want to get a pass rusher in the draft, but I'm leaning more towards Jared Verse. That's not my decision or my call yet, definitely, because we haven't done our mock draft yet. But I'm leaning heavily towards Jared Verse. I feel like Jared Verse could give you Miles Garrett like production for years to come. I feel like he could be that guy for years to come. But you know, him or Dallas Turner, I feel like they're both going to be game changers. I feel like they're both going to be game changers. LAJ says, of course you did. Because I can almost guarantee you, because Coach Roney, I don't know, she watching some show in there. I don't know what she watching, probably like Love is Blind or something like that. You know she be watching those reality TV shows all the time. The only reality TV show I really watch is Love After Lockup. I like to see how they, I don't know why. It's just so messy. But anyway, I think because we both took the day off, based on the circumstances and everything. And but I don't think Coach Roney is even watching. But I can almost guarantee you that you hit that like button before her, LAJ. If somebody could they give us a count of the likes? Could somebody tell us how many likes we have? I would definitely and greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure that you hit that like button if you hadn't yet. Make sure that you hit the like button before Coach Roney does. We would definitely and greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button for me, and I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. Oh, man. Okay, Jamel said we at 70. Okay, all right, definitely. We appreciate it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hitting that like button for us. Brian, 3. Oh, man. The Gunk Goblin says Panthers just signed Robert Hunt. 5 years, $100 million. Well, the Panthers, boy, they... Whew. Panthers, where they going... Look, if that's what they want to do, they got a lot of things that they need to resolve, but that's what they want to do. Yeah, I heard about Christian Wilkins. He got that huge deal, 4 years, $110 million. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Congratulations to him for getting that deal. Sam Granderson says Jeff Okudah to the Texans on a 1-year deal. So he's going to try to run another prove-it year deal. That's good. You can't beat that, man. Shouts out to Jeff Okudah. I really wanted him to be here long term with us because I really like the intensity, especially during training camp. I seen like the type of intensity that he had. So shouts out to Jeff Okudah. Also, he's getting a chance to go back home to the Houston Texans. That's where he's from. He's from Houston. I'm sorry, he's from Texas. So I'm pretty sure him having the chance to go back to Texas, that's a good deal for him. So he could be closer to his family. He could play for, possibly his hometown team. I don't know if where he's from. I don't know if that's closer to Dallas or if it's closer to Houston, because Texas is so doggone big. But yeah, you get a chance to actually go home and play ball. I'm pretty sure that's like a dream come true. Let's see here. Yeah, I see that Texas just signed a cooler. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to look and see what cornerbacks are available now. Because yeah, I mean, we just like somebody was mentioning earlier, like we got a lot of holes that we need to fill. We got a lot of holes that we need to fill. Let's see. So I'm just putting up the list of free agencies. Let's see here. List of 2024 free agents. Let's see what kind of cornerbacks they have available. Let's see here. I see Leonard Floyd still available. So I guess Calvin really ain't gonna be signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That sucks. Chase Young still out there to Davion Clowney, which is a move we could very well make. Mm. This list of quarterbacks ain't looking too hot, y'all. Keyshawn Nixon from the Packers. Steven Nelson from the Texans. Ronald Darby from the Ravens. Stephon Gilmore still out there. He's a little bit long in the tooth. He's been around for a long. Ooh, Kendall Fuller. That could be a move. Tre'Davious White, they just let him go. Yeah, so there's a few cornerbacks that's out there, y'all. Okay, Quavo's hype that Kirk Cousins is coming to Atlanta. How about that? Xavier Howard is out there. So it's one of those things. 954 Vet Boy says crazy. He's 36 and only one playoff win. Just dumb. 36. He's 36. Oh man, the Gunk Goblin says, "Do you think we should get Calvin Ridley back?" Man, I don't know if it's good for Calvin Ridley if he came back, because you think about it, if it's one of those situations where you brought Calvin Ridley back where that he had like those mental health issues and didn't feel like it was safe for his family and everything, I don't know if it's a good idea for him to come back and expose himself to all that again. Like, I'm not just thinking about, just Javon Kinlaw is a free agent. Okay. Yeah, I'm not just thinking about just the football aspect of it. I don't know if that's good for him and his family, because he's going to be coming. You have anxiety. He don't not want the same thing to happen again, and worrying about his family being safe. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah, this free agency class is crazy. Austin Hooper's a free agent, y'all. Y'all want to go back? Look, we're going back to the past. Let's go ahead and get Austin Hooper. Josh Uche from the Patriots. That'll be a pretty good sign. He's just 25 years old. He had 11 and a half sacks last year. Man. Yeah, so I feel like we can still make a few splashes. Shouts out to Keith. Oh man. Shouts out to Keith. He says Russ is gonna cook in Pittsburgh. Hey, is Russ gonna cook? That's the question. I don't know. He very well could. Like Russ was low key cooking last year. I'm gonna have to check up on my homeboy Jack Spade, because I know he was. I know that he was wanting Russ bad. So I'm gonna have to check up on him, make sure Jack Spade all right. But yeah, Russ was low key cooking last year. We had like 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, something like that. So he kept the turnovers down to a minimum. But yeah, I don't know, man. Look, at the end of the day, like Rusty's always been pretty consistent. I don't see him falling off immediately, so I can definitely see it being one of those cases where he can kind of take that next step. Let's see here. Richard Drake says, "Hey, Lo, why these Falcons fans ain't never satisfied? I'm sick and tired of them, Lo." They ain't never satisfied, Coach. Don't do them boys like that. Look, I think it's just one of those cases where they'll be satisfied whenever they have a legit. Whenever moving forward, they have a legit. We get a Super Bowl win. We just want to win a Super Bowl. I'm a glass half full guy, so it don't take much to satisfy me. I'm still gonna be sitting up in there on Sundays, so or on the plane on Friday or Saturday. So yeah, it's not gonna be a situation where I'm not. I just enjoy watching my team play ball. I know even whenever the season ain't looking good, I think back to times like this in the middle of March, and we have to wait until September. Thinking back on, man, I really wish I could watch some Atlanta Falcons football. So I'm always satisfied. Tyler Russell, what in the world, Bo? He says, I go to work and big news happens. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Atlanta Falcons have their quarterback. So I've had a few people hit me up online mentioning that they feel like it's one of those cases where they feel like we're the favorite in the NFC South now. So I wanted to ask y'all what y'all think. Do y'all feel like the Atlanta Falcons are the favorite to win the NFC South? If you do, put a 4 in the chat. If you feel like it's one of those cases where we're not, it's not a given. There's still a whole lot of things that we have to consider. Put a 5 in the chat. I feel like, and I might be wrong saying this, but I feel like we got the best quarterback in the division. I feel like it. Bryce Young, jury's still out on him. Baker Mayfield, he's up and down, but and then Derek Carr, Derek Carr is on the decline. Like that's like, and I'm not just saying this just because it's the Saints. Derek Carr's on the decline. But I feel like we got the best quarterback in the division. But some people asked me, they said that they think we're favorites to win the division this year. If I'm not mistaken, weren't we favorites last year? If I'm not mistaken, was it between us and the Saints? I think. We see how that worked out. So, Jay Murphy, Purple Haze, Coach Key, Coach Tyler Russell, they all say 4. They feel like we're the favorites to win the division this year. Tyler Russell says Tampa will be decent. I know that somebody said that Tampa is on the decline because their defense is getting a little bit older and they're taking a step back a little bit. So I mean, all of that is something that we definitely have to consider. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like we could be the favorites this year. I can legitimately see that. Let's see here. Reese Cup. Shouts out to Reese Cup, the Big Four. First, you had Matty Ice. Now, shirtless Kirk with ice on his neck. You like that? Shouts out to Noah, man. And congratulations on your new quarterback, Russell Wilson. Oh, man. About whatever says 4, but we should have been the favorites with Desmond Ridder and new and hopefully improved coaching. Yeah, I can see that. Javi says, oh, yeah, you definitely had the best quarterback in the division. Man, that's crazy. It feels so weird saying it. Richard Drake says, hey, look, I wouldn't mind Ridley coming back on the other side of Drake. Man, now see, on the field, that looks good. On the field. Because Ridley, right, number one, people like people forget how fast Ridley is. It's like he can run routes with the best of them. Some people say he's the best route runner in the NFL. But just as far as like speed, getting past that safety, like don't sleep on Rid now. Don't sleep on him. And it's like I feel like he got the short end of the stick because he was playing beside Julio Jones, and Julio Jones was Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't pull your Maybach up beside my Ford truck. Like, this is a nice Ford truck here. Or don't pull your Maybach up beside my BMW. It's a nice BMW. But at the end of the day, man, it's like people forget how good Calvin Ridley was. I know he dealt with those injuries the first couple of years, and he finally got that 1,000-yard season. And I don't know what his stats were. If somebody could put it in the chat, like what Ridley's stats were last year, but it seems like they just, there were a few times where it seemed like they were just on 2 separate pages, but whenever they had it figured out and it was cooking. So look, I'm not, I wouldn't even be mad at it. Like I said, I'm just worried about off the field, how would he be able to deal with it? Because, man, that mental health is serious, bro. Like, you don't want to be going to work, playing a sport, and you worried about somebody, peeping you out, trying to hit you up, or worried about the safety of your family. That's tough, man. And so our wartime, so my question is, what are we going to do for a quarterback for the future? Man, we were just talking about that, Coach. We were just talking about that. Some people said that. Well, I was surprised because most people were saying, "Man, I would, I would stick with Desmond Ridder. I would run it back with Desmond Ridder." Like that. That's what everybody was saying. So, it's one of those things. We got Superman chat. Iron Mind says, "Oh, we just heard the quarterback news. What are we going to do with that 8 pick now, though? Get a wide receiver and build them trenches?" Or build them trenches. You know, that's what people say about them trenches. Oh, man. Da-da-da. That's a Superman chat. I ain't going to lie to you, Coach. No, that's especially, with those trenches, man. Like, let's build them trenches up. Let's build them trenches up. Shouts out to my brothers, man, the Pound for Pound boys, man. My brothers JR and them over there, they doing some great content. Make sure you follow these guys on Twitter and go follow them on YouTube. Subscribe to them on YouTube, man. These are my guys. They says, need to grab a wide receiver, Ridley, I will be in on, and an edge in free agency. Then grab another edge, wide receiver, defensive tackle in the first. Then bring in Spencer Rattler in the third to sit behind Cousins. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. My pound for pound brothers, that would be a very successful draft. Very successful draft. And then, cornerbacks, that's the most dense position. Whenever you have an athletic guy, you just don't know what to do with him. If he can run fast, put him at cornerback. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. But there's always a lot of cornerbacks that are in the draft that you can bring in. And, don't forget that Terry, he likes to go to the CFL and, likes to go by other means, XFL. Well, what is it now? The United Football League. He likes to go by other means to get talent too. So, y'all might want to start looking to these other avenues in your scouting processes as well, because Terry Fontenot is definitely open to doing it. So whenever the season starts up, I think it's starting up pretty soon, right? Whenever that season starts up, y'all might want to be watching. Like those guys that really stand out, Terry Fontenot may be looking at. Bad Means Ruin Dream says, if you can't get a top-tier quarterback in this draft, Ridder looks a lot better than other guys, especially behind Kirk. Like we said, like Desmond Ridder, he definitely had some bright spots last year. Were there times whenever we played the Carolina Panthers and we legitimately, I never forget, we had a little watch party, and I looked at JR looked at me, I looked at Uncle Steve and Jack Spade, and we all looked at each other whenever Desmond Ridder just threw the ball directly to the Panthers player. The Panthers player was surprised the ball came to him. But at the end of the day, it's like there was some plays that he made, and I was just like, wow, this guy is special. He is special. There's something special to him. Let's see. Pound for Pound says Falcons are -110 to win the South at this time. Okay, I'll take it. False-Star Falcons said Desmond Ridder. Calvin Ridley's numbers were 1,016 yards and 8 touchdowns. Man, that's a good season. That's a good season. He also had 76 catches. Now imagine, putting that beside Drake London with a Kirk Cousins, and you got a Kyle Pitts in the middle, along with a Bijan Robinson and, possibly another, wide receiver that could, do some things as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, Van Jefferson, he's not on the roster anymore. Also, we got another Superman chat. James Cameron says, you guys didn't try to get Justin Fields. The Falcons are not the favorites to win the NFC South. Bryce Young will be on the comeback this season for my Panthers. This has been a Superman chat. Shouts out to you, James Cameron. Hey, look, we definitely appreciate we appreciate the confidence. We definitely do. that I gotta give it to you. That's that dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. But what I can say is that look, we, in the words of Coach Prime, we coming. We coming. Oh man, Coach Key says, Low, I think you gotta start building up those trenches. We're doing it here. Broderick Jones, remember him? And darn up, see, come on, man. Come on. He's talking about how they keep getting Georgia Bulldogs up there in Pittsburgh. Okay. Darnell Washington, remember him? And soon Amarius Mims. Come on, man. Hold it against us. That time dirty, he said he feels like we could win the NFC South this year. He feels like we should be the favorites to win it. I'm not mad at it, man. I'm not mad at it. Dre, he says, Coach Lowe said that the Panthers players were surprised the ball came to him. Yeah, he was surprised. He didn't know. He didn't think he was coming to him. He was like, man, did the whistle blow? Oh man, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're just trying to make sure that we can kind of take things to the next level. Shouts out to it. Terry Fontenot, Coach Raheem Morris, and the rest of the gang for making sure that they can kind of take Kirk Cousins and put him in this scheme to help take everything to the next level. I'm definitely excited. Hopefully we can make some more moves in free agency. I got to do some research and see how this affects the cap and affects everything else. But in the meantime, man, if anything else happens, we'll definitely be following up with you to kind of let you know what we think about it and everything. Once again, thank everybody for all of the well wishes, and thank everybody for all of the positive thoughts and the prayers. As we went through the grieving process with Grandma Country and everything. I need y'all to stay safe. Please make sure that you don't do anything that I would do. And in the meantime, man, shouts out. We will follow Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cuzzo. We will follow him. He will be our leader to this NFC South crown, and hopefully a Super Bowl. Rise up, A-Town down. Y'all already know what time. Oh, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Y'all take it easy, man. What in the world, Bo?